Hi, everybody. Welcome to Page Fights. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Georgiana. I'm the Director of Marketing at Unbounce. And just to run down really quickly how this is going to work today, essentially what happened was we got 350 landing page submissions today, which is for today's show, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted their landing page. From those 350, we narrowed it down to 20, which we're going to run through on this episode. And then, of course, from there, there's a top 5 that you guys are going to vote and decide who is going to be our landing page champion, which is basically they're going to win an awesome prize of 6 months of Moz Analytics for free and 6 months of Unbounce Pro 99 for free. So we're going to run through those 20 and then those 5. And I just want to make sure that you guys are actually watching the show today on pagefights.com/rand-fishkin. So if you're on Google Plus or somewhere else watching this, make sure you go over to that URL. So it's pagefights.com/rand, R-A-N-D--fishkin, F-I-S-H-K-I-N, because there you're going to see the social widget, which is on one of the sides of me, and in there, that's the Page Fights hashtag. So there's Tia Kelly, our social strategist, is going to be paying attention on Twitter and on Google Plus. So if you have any questions or feedback during this show, make sure to use that hashtag, and we'll see you there. And also, there's a voting that's going to happen at the end of the show, which the Cast My Vote button just below this screen, and that's where you're going to decide who the winner is of today's show. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our hosts. First, I'll go to our resident hosts. Oli Gardner, who is the co-founder of Unbounce, is with us today, and our other resident judge is Peep Laja from ConversionXL. Hello, Oli, and hello, Pep.
Hello. There will be blood today.
All right, and then of course the Wizard of Moz himself, Rand Fishkin. So happy to have him join us today. Hi, Rand. Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, no. Yeah, we're always laughing about the technical problems that happens with these things. There's always going to be something.
Check, check, double check.
There
Can you hear
are.
me now?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Excellent.
Terrific.
All right, so let's get to it. We're going to go through our 20 landing pages right now, and I'm going to basically go back and forth between the judges of who's going to kick us off for each one. So,
you guys,
first,
I even wore my Fight Club T-shirt just for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so the first one, because Rand, you're our esteemed guest today, you're going to hit off the critique for the first landing page.
Great.
We're going to call that one up. I think Tommy's done that. So, Rand, can you see that landing page now?
Yes, I can. A gigabyte of RAM for only 15 cents an hour. Yeah, so actually, I think this is Linode, right? And I think they do a very solid job. I like the color separation. I like the clarity of the text. I'm not usually a fan of white on dark text, but I think it works here. I think the button maybe could use some testing, but this is great. I also like the way they do testimonials with Twitter accounts. I'd love to see those faces there. I know faces are powerful social proof, but I thought this was one of the more impressive pages that we're going to be looking at. Clearly explains the value proposition, is very visual, describes the product in enough depth and detail that if you know what you're looking for, this is helpful. And these are, I think, very intuitively, at least to me, these are the kinds of answers to the questions that I would be asking were I trying to find a product like this. So overall, I'm very impressed with this page.
I just want to jump in on the social proof part. The Twitter things. I love tweet testimonials because the benefit of them is they're verifiable, but they're not here because they don't have the name.
Yeah.
And like you say, without a name here, these could just be made up like any little.
Well, I assume you can click the Twitter bird, right? And go to the URL?
Ideally, you shouldn't be able to because that's going to take you away, right? But so yeah, I think they should just put the name on there at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how focused this page is, how relevant it is to the audience. What I would complain about is the first call to action. It jumps the gun, kind of. And second thing is those subheadings above those icons. If you scroll down, Zeus Lake Power, there's help along the way. Those are meaningless. They don't mean anything unless you read the copy below. But a subheading should be everything you need to read.
Okay, awesome. So
Just
next,
one very, very quick thing. Sorry, Tommy, can you just go and click on the button? Just very quickly. Nobody is going to fill that in. There's no branding. It looks like fishing.
oh,
You've just lost me. Anyway, for that, you're done.
I'm guessing, Ollie, that a lot of people actually do fill this out, so that might be a little hyperbolic, but I completely agree that you could probably get way more people to fill this out if you did as he recommends.
all right,
Okay.
awesome. Let's go to our next page. We have to move on. Ollie, hit us off.
Classy Karma Candy. Play golf with full fun and energy with Karma Candy. Which page of the catalog of bad design did you order this from? This is just appalling. If you want something really unique, you might want to try Karma Candy. Put Karma Candy in your bag. It is an incentive to foursome.
Huh?
That's not what it says. Does it say that?
Yeah, right there. Incentive to foursome.
Wow.
Wow.
That's powerful. That
And
is.
It reminds
I would
me
not
of
associate the word classy with
Mountain,
this
Charlie.
at all.
Copywriting at its most disturbing.
All right, let's move
Great
on. I think it's
picture.
safe. This is
Oh,
not
hang
going
on.
to top five. We got to move on. We got to move on.
This one is
Pat,
officially
Pat,
gone.
this one's yours. Go for it.
Your child, your rights. What kind of rights? Twin Cities Child Custody Attorney. Very poor clarity about what's the page about. You really need to read this stuff. So then the copy presentation is rather poor, but it looks nice, well designed, except for that obvious stock photo. I don't believe this person had a legal problem.
The child or the guy?
Once you clean up the copy presentation, improve clarity, this page could be way better. Simple things could really make a difference here.
Yeah, one of the things I kept hoping I would see here was a photo of the attorney himself, because it's such a trusted relationship with a service provider like that you want to be able to see that person's eyes, see their face, get to know them. It's a little tough.
Yeah, and why is the call to action send information? Your child, your rights, send information.
I imagine maybe the photo down there is the attorney. I don't know. At first I thought that was the testimonial giver, but it's actually a testimonial by a woman, so that's super confusing.
Oh, so you think this stock photo might not be a stock photo? That might be Michael Taylor?
I don't know, because like you say, you should have, on a personal thing like this, you should have the photos.
It's probably not Rebecca.
No, probably not. But I do like the emotional stuff at the top. You know, it's got the kid's photo and whatever. But yeah, the clarity's missing, but it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like how clean it is.
Yeah.
Okay, Rand, you are hitting us, hitting off of this one.
Yep. So I had this page up as I was reviewing it last night, and my wife Geraldine came into the room and said, "Oh God, do we have bed bugs?" So what I realized when she said that is, wow, that is powerful, right? That clearly there's an emotional trigger, there's a fear trigger, and so while I was initially very put off by the fact that it had photos as opposed to maybe an illustration or something a little one step removed from photos of them on a bed, maybe, I don't know, maybe it actually does work.
You want to get rid of the drawing, you want to get rid of those nasty things.
I guess so.
Clarity as well. I like how clear the headline is, even though the presentation is very amateur.
Yeah, sorry, Pep, I'm losing you a little bit, I think, due to the connection with the audio. But a few things that I did think were good is I like the logos of association. I actually thought that the placement of the schedule inspection was fairly good. I think it's a little bit of an aggressive call to action here. Right, I might say, rather than scheduling an inspection immediately, especially since there's no place for scheduling, I wonder if this is, talk to us to see whether we can help, or something a little less forward. I did think again, the text works pretty well, but the text next to the check marks up top there, a little hard to read each of those and parse them out separately, especially because it's white on a darker gray, then white on a lighter gray.
Right. Okay, we're gonna move on because we have to get through quite a few. So Ollie, you're the next one. Tommy, can you cue up the next landing page? Sorry guys, like I have to move this along.
Okay.
Please do.
Okay. Ollie, hit it up.
It's really hard to read this headline because it's on an angle and the type's all over the place. Conquering the college admissions essay in 10 steps. Now, this is #1 bestseller, but then this is a bait and switch. Because this is not what you're getting. This hero shot is not what you get on this page. You get some other little guide by the dude that wrote this. And I downloaded it, and it's 6 pages pitching the book.
Wow.
So that's a total bait and switch. I don't like that at all. It has stop words right below the CTA. It says, we'll never sell your email. We won't send you spam. I wasn't thinking you were going to, but now I am. So remove that thing there and actually advertise what you're giving away.
Right. Okay.
Well, if this were an honest pitch, I think it would be a good page.
Structurally, it's okay, yeah.
Ollie, I almost wonder whether instead of making this a downloadable guide, just make the landing page the guide to the book, right? If the guide just sells the book, sell the book right on the page, cut out the middleman.
Yeah, if the guide does a good job at doing that, yeah, exactly, expose it. There's a great idea for whoever did this.
All right, Pep, this one's yours.
Share learning with parents. Learning about what? There's the video backgrounds. Typically, they hurt more than they help because they're very capturing. You just start watching the video, stop reading the copy. 7 reasons why I love the thing that I don't know what it is. Get started now. Jumping the gun. Poor clarity. Design looks nice, but clarity is real poor.
Right.
I think this part does a much better job, right? Capture and share learning as it happens. Take photos, record videos, create beautiful stories. That part, it gets much clearer as you go down, but it's weird that it's not that clear at the top.
Learning, I'm still not clear about learning at school or what.
So I think this, this product might not be fully familiar to everyone, but the idea is that a lot of parents are capturing and recording their children's early development, and they want to compare whether their kids are keeping up with the Joneses in terms of progress.
How stupid are my children compared to the neighbors?
Yeah, how long did it take my kid to learn how to use a fork? How long did it take my kid to learn how to say their first few words? I know a lot of parents of young kids, and they really obsess about this kind of stuff, right? They want to know, am I a month ahead, a month behind? I feel like that's something you can be deeply empathetic about, because you would worry about it if you had kids, right?
But the page doesn't do a great job, right, of communicating this? Is that the general consensus?
Yeah, poor clarity.
Okay, we got to move on. All right, Rand, this one is you.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome that this happened to you as well. See the bottom right here, how the Spanish live chat popped up rather than the English, even though you're clearly on the English version of the page because you haven't hit Español, which is up at the top there. So this page is lovely. The software actually looks very interesting and beautiful, but I couldn't figure out what it does exactly. This page just didn't tell me. It was so broad, I felt like it could have been an ad for almost any analytics product. And I didn't want to schedule the demo without knowing more about it, but there was no way to learn more. I just couldn't find anything. Even on the website, I couldn't find anything else to click to.
What am I doing? I'm visualizing my business opportunity.
Yeah, that's quality. That's quality. So obviously the Spanish thing isn't helpful. The software itself looks lovely. I just wish that they would explain it to me, and I think it's presumptive to assume that with this little information, I'd be able to do that.
Especially fun how they want you to schedule a demo after saying nothing.
Right. Yeah. All right, safe to move on, I think. Tommy, let's hit the next one. Ollie, this one's you.
Salesforce. I actually talk about this page quite a lot when I speak. It's a little bit self-centered. See what Salesforce can do for you. It's not so much about me, but the main thing here, watch all of our free demo videos. That's a lot.
Yeah, everybody has that time to watch all of them.
Yeah, that's a lot of friction you put in front of me. Like, that's a lot of effort. If I click this, I now have to watch all of these videos. Just keep it to one, or just say demo. You don't need to say videos. It's multiples. And why is Gumtree the most dominant thing on the page? That doesn't make any sense, right? It stands out more than anything else. Yeah.
So I have some funny, weird news about this page. I know someone who worked on it.
Oh yeah.
and I know how many versions of it they tested, and I know that this was the winner after hundreds of tests.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Years did that take?
Creepy. It didn't make sense to me either. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of versions of this. Yeah.
Yeah. When I see what works for Salesforce, it's unlike what works for other people.
I mean, if Salesforce is watching, I can beat that page easily.
Do it.
All right, Pep,
Challenge
this one's
accepted.
you. Pep, this one's you.
Google Plus, like you've never seen it before. My main question is, why should I still care about Google Plus? Because Google announced it's dead.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You know, I get more traffic from Google Plus than I do from Twitter now.
But other than that, I guess it's measuring what the effectiveness of my social media efforts there, even though it doesn't state. So clarity is not very good.
You need to annotate that image, because I don't know what that image is really. Just put a simple annotation like, this is what you're looking at, so I don't have to figure that myself.
That's just the beginning in the video.
Right. Okay, can we move on to the next one then? Clearly,
Yeah.
this is going through.
I like that one. I thought that one was solid.
All right, well, Rand, this one's you, so hopefully you like this one too.
Yes, well, I do like some things about this, right? The clarity of the top message is unbeatable. I think it's the clearest headline we've seen when reviewing these all day. Get your Google penalty lifted. Oh, that's what it does. If I have a penalty, this is going to help me. And then it continues with stop wasting time, call the pros, 300 plus penalty removals, 100% success rate. Those are the answers to the immediate questions I would have right after knowing what this page is about. So I think they do a great job there. I was a little weirded out on the like powered by Moz Majestic, Google Webmaster Tools. I was like, oh, powered by, got it. They use these companies' APIs. So they have an API for Webmaster Tools, Moz Majestic. And then I think they do a nice job of describing this, the process, how it works, their 100% success rate. The thing that I wanted to see as I scrolled down was I wanted to see the examples of time frames, right? Like there's one here from Mike Myers, and I wanted to see that expanded, right? So like here's a sample of 10 of the brands we've worked with, and here's that time frame it took, right? First initial penalty received, they started working with penalty pros, and 60 days later, that's how long it took. I was a little skeptical of the 7 to 15 days. That must be like the fastest I've ever heard of a Google penalty being lifted, but impressive. Overall, this page I thought was very impressive. I think it's very compelling.
You need to get your numbers straight. You say at the top that you've done 300 of these things, 300 penalty removals, and you say 200 down the bottom. So you got to align that stuff.
Well, it says over 200. 300 is more than 200.
Get your free proposal. We have done more than 7.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. Ollie, this is you. Where's the headline? I don't understand. Ollie.
Oh, I know.
I'm sorry. I think Ollie just died and went to paradise for $55 a day. So
I am speechless. Like, what the fuck is this? Come on. This is done. Go.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
That page can work if it had the best copy ever written. The copy is so captivating, but it wasn't. So, yeah.
Okay, Pep, this one's you.
Well, I don't know what expense reports are so great. Speed up your expense reports. I didn't know they were slow.
you don't have to file expense reports? Oh, man.
What's that?
So let's say that you worked at Moz, right? And you bought Unbounce, and now you needed to get reimbursed. That would be an expense report. Or you traveled somewhere for a conference. You had to send us your flight ticket.
What, the company? Your employees have enough money to buy Unbounce?
All right.
I just send the receipt to my accounting, and it's done. Spend more time making money and less time on reports. Okay. Well,
there's a testimonial down there.
It's solving a problem I don't have, so it looks nice. I guess I should use it, but it seems very intimidating. The way I'm doing it now seems way easier.
Down at the bottom, the testimonial by your own employee. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Come on.
No,
you think we're great?
All right, next. We actually really need to speed this up. Okay, Rand, this one's you.
Yeah, I thought this was, generally speaking, a good page. I can understand the appeal. I've looked at lots of hiking websites. It just didn't have all of the compelling stuff I wanted. The big thing I really wanted is, who is this from and why should I trust them? And I felt like it was missing that, but it hit on a lot of other good points. And
it's about hiking. Where are these gorgeous hiking pictures? They're like tiny thumbnails. They're not doing it for me.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here, but yeah, there's you've hit it on the head there. I mean, it's got a dark gray, cloudy sky. I know this is Vancouver, so that's pretty accurate, but but I need a little bit more. You know, I really like this page because, being from Vancouver, I'm a bit of a sucker for that, and it appeals to me apart from where it's going wrong, but we can fix that easily.
Yep.
Okay, next one. Ollie, this one's you. Fast.
Watch a free demo of NewMD medical billing software. Superhero coming in. Register below to view a free demo of our software. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you've never heard of this software, you should not lead with that. You should lead with the problem I'm solving. If I've heard of it, I mean, true, it's a different story.
Yeah, if this is branded search, then maybe, you know, they already know what it is, they watch a demo, but right off the bat, I want to know what it is before I think about watching a demo. So start with a benefit-driven headline.
All right.
But overall, I think it looks nice, so we need some copy help.
Right. Pep, this one's you.
Beginner's Guide to Inbound Marketing. Oh, and look at those beautiful testimonials. Is it the slider automatic or not?
Yes, it is.
So that's definitely distracting me from reading your thing. And the Beginner's Guide to Inbound Marketing, I mean, there's so much of that stuff out there. I really need to know how this stuff is different.
Right.
So you really need to, you know.
Okay. Rand, this one's you.
Yes. So, I mean, this one's it's an odd value proposition, but I thought it's relatively compelling for what it is. I think because the headline is so clear, at least about the problem, and I think it draws you in, right? So I can imagine if someone was affected by this issue, they would be tempted once they saw the top of this to scroll down. The doc is a little cheesy, but I think it can work.
To read, I think, as well.
Yeah, it is a little. It's frustrating that it switches to the light text on dark background.
Yeah.
But it does have a lot of detail, and it gets fairly specific. I didn't love the copy, but I thought it wasn't terrible either. I have questions about how. Whether there's ways to do some of this text more visually to help break up the page.
Sure. Copy presentation is pretty terrible. Wall of text, cheesy, stock photography.
Yeah. I'd be interested to know what the search query was, or the ad that brought you here. What were you doing that brought you to something about your spouse cheating on you? That'd be interesting context.
Well, actually, I mean, products of this niche sell so well.
Yeah,
it's a very popular money-making niche.
It's a video course series as well, but it's really doesn't communicate this about video.
Okay, Ollie, really quickly.
Yeah, great headline subhead. It's super clear. Grow your real estate business with social media. Okay, I want to do that. 4-week online social media training course for realtors. This is probably the best heading and subhead I think we've had. But then it goes, join the Realtor Social Media Club. So it was a course, now it's a club. And this, if you go down a little bit, Tommy, sign up today and there's a discount. It's $200. That's an e-commerce transaction. You give me a form.
Right. Okay, we gotta move on.
Wow, bad.
Pep, this one's you.
Puppies.
We take care of your dog when you can't. Actually, since I have a traveling lifestyle, that headline really talks to me because I can't get a pet because I'm always traveling. My only question is, what do you, for which purpose are you know? So they're not very clear. Out of town for a while. Does 3 months count? Get a quote. I like clarity on this. It's very clear. The button doesn't look like a button though.
You can't click it.
It's not a clickable button. There's only the phone. Okay.
So actually, fooled me.
So why
is there a
copy underneath is unreadably small.
Right. All right, let's move on. Rand, this one is you. Look, it's a whiteboard.
It is. It's a whiteboard. It's a guy with almost a beard. So I thought this page is. It's not terrible. I think that the challenge here is that you have to be so exceptional to stand out in this field because it's such an incredibly competitive field, and there's so many people offering this. This feels like it might have been a decent attempt, 10 years ago when this sort of thing was less common, but now I think you need to be much more outstanding to be able to show what you're doing. In particular, I want to see the before and after. I want to see why this is. I want to see the comparison of this to other programs and why it works so much better.
Selfie alert.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Their copy is exactly what every other similar product is saying.
Yeah.
It's just long-lasting, blah blah blah. Who cares?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. And the next one is our last one. It's the 20th, and Oli, it's you.
It looks like you had your head cut off. Where is the logo? Where is your name? Who is this?
Looks familiar. Yeah, I've seen that stock photo many times before.
Yeah, very familiar. I'm gonna bring out the bullshit detector on this one. If you just go up a bit, I'm gonna read out scanning very quickly. Tommy, can you go to the top? Okay, exclusive invitation. Generate kitchen remodel. Look familiar. Time for change. Your business deserves this. If you say those things, string them together in a sentence. Reserve your spot. Why you need search supremacy. That's supremacy. That's got some pretty bad connotations. Dominate. Yes, let me in. Yeah, that doesn't communicate anything. This is awful.
God, I didn't even realize until we scrolled halfway down the page that it had anything to do with SEO.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
I thought it was about kitchen cabinets.
All right, I think it's fair. That one's not going Hollywood.
No.
All right, guys, that was 20. So good job, thanks. So what we're going to do is we're going to the top 5, which were pre-selected. Those are now going to get more. We're going to go a bit more in depth into the 5. We're going to spend a couple minutes on each. But just so that you guys know, we are doing a Q&A. Some of you guys already know this because there was an email about it. But we're doing a Q&A. So if you have any questions for Rand or for Pep or for Oli, using the Page Fights hashtag, go ahead and ask those either on Twitter or on Google+, and Tia is going to queue those up because after we go over the 5, that's when the voting is going to be. So during the voting, we're going to do Q&A. So go ahead and ask your questions using the hashtag PageFights. And Tommy, I think you're now going to queue up the top 5. We're going to go a little bit more in depth into each one of these, what works and what could be better about them. So I guess we'll start with Rand again, might as well. Rand, you want to talk about the first finalist for a little bit?
Yes. All right. So this is Michael Taylor's legal website. One of the things that I'm going to urge just time and time again that everyone do who's building a landing page is to talk to their customers, potential customers and customers that you've had, and get that list of questions that I had about your practice, questions that I had about your service or your product. And my sense is, unfortunately, this site didn't do that, right? That there are deep questions that a lot of people have around child custody. This is something that's hugely emotional, it's life-affecting, and this page presumes that you're going to read one paragraph, a few bullet points, and you're going to send him your information to talk, when I think what's actually going to happen is you're going to be up for 6 hours, 10 hours in a row, all night reading about essentially child custody issues until you find someone you really trust. And the person you trust is going to be probably the one that gives you the most information, the most in-depth information, or the one who comes from a trusted recommendation. And so if Michael Taylor here has got those things, right, either he can be the most trusted because he's got recommendations and he can make that clear, like, hey, go talk to your friends, go look on your LinkedIn. I've worked with tons of people in this local geography, or if he can provide an incredible amount of depth and detail about how these proceedings work, what to expect, that kind of stuff, why you need him. I just think it's well designed, but I want to see him. I really want to see that in-depth information.
Cool. Wow. Okay. Just a note, by the way, too, we can't scroll on these, so we're doing sort of above the fold.
Yep.
On these. So, Pep or Oli, do you have anything you want to add?
I just think, Rand summarized that perfectly, but custody is the most important word on this page, and so it should be a lot more obvious so that I immediately know, okay, this is about custody. That's the thing I'm looking at right now, child custody. It's not what you immediately see.
Yeah, the headline, I think, could use a lot of help here, and also the way the intro paragraph. It just make it more clear what it is. Also, there's very little said about why should I go with this Taylor dude instead of other lawyers. Also, the location is not very obvious.
Yeah, actually,
send the information.
Just on the copy front, this is editorial. It's the wrong style of writing. It says, listen to this. To most parents, their children's well-being is very important. To most parents, I shouldn't. Or are they hinting at the fact that maybe that's the custody thing? Maybe some people
why
don't
is
care.
the kid with two parents there if it's a custody battle? Are they pulling the kid or?
Right. All right. Let's move on to the finalist number 2. Okay, Oli, you're going to start this one.
Yeah, I really like this page. I mean, this is one of those examples, I think, of ugly design that will work, because the design isn't important here. Structure is good, but visually it's terrible. But the headline is amazing. Get rid of bed bugs fast. If you have bed bugs or you think you have bed bugs, that's exactly what you want to hear.
But fast could be worded better, because fast is superlative. In half an hour. Well, come in half an hour is done would be way better.
Yes, agreed. Specificity.
Yeah. Bed bugs are a big problem in Vancouver, so I've had this fear. Never had any, but I've had this fear. I like the form, the schedule of the inspection, then schedule my inspection now. It leads well, but what Rand pointed out before, the white text for these bullets is really hard to read.
It is.
The
other thing, I also wanted to see the team here, right? Like, I really want to see someone I think from a branding perspective, seeing someone in a Thomas Pest Services, outfit, seeing them with their branded gear, that would be memorable and would help them with branding and memorability, even if someone doesn't convert immediately. And with a lot of these landing pages, I think one of the challenges is many times we'll focus on converting someone right in that visit, as opposed to thinking about lifetime value and branding and the fact that 99% of people, even if we have a nice 1% conversion rate, which would probably be pretty decent, they're going to leave this page, and I want them to have a positive impression and to potentially remember me and to have an association.
Yeah, they have things like canine bed bug. Sorry, go ahead, Pep.
I mean, yes, schedule inspection now. I don't even have information. And once you come to my house, can I sleep on the bed, the same night? And all these questions aren't answered. I don't want to schedule anything. I might want a phone consult or something like that.
I do think it would be pretty cool if they had a live calendar widget, right? If they showed like, hey, we're available to schedule over the next 3 days. You can schedule us these times. I think that would be pretty compelling if they showed it specifically right in there, like, hey, 11 a.m. today we have an opening. So if you need, you
Right.
need someone to come.
And that picture, it would be way more effective if it were a photo of a bed and zoomed in area of a bed with those bed bugs.
Yeah, that would be good if they kind of magnified it.
Ollie, you have one last chance to defend this choice of yours.
I think, well, that's all great ideas, right? That's what we're here to do, make them better. But I think it's effective. I mean, but it does need more photography. We use canine bed bug detection. Dogs are going to come and sniff out these bugs. That's pretty cool. So show that stuff.
All right, moving on to the next one. All right, Pep, I believe this one will be you. Oh, good.
Yeah, well, I already mentioned graphics. I mean, yeah, the great weather, not very inspiring to go for a hike. Where are the big, gorgeous photos? Also,
yeah, you have to click on those little thumbnails below.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. And also, the first call to action is buy now after 3 bullet points. Definitely, I'm not ready to buy after 3 bullet points, unless I've been to this page before and I've checked out the alternatives. But it's very specific, I mean, very clear what it's about. Even though it's not very clear until you look at the picture that it's a book or a software, actually. This ebook.
That's
so, when I read the headline, I thought it's a tour guide business.
Yeah, the thing I really wish is, you know, I've looked at a bunch of hiking guides before, and my question is always, why should I trust this person's opinion about which hikes are good and which trails to go on, and will it provide me the key things that I need to know? So it gives stats like distance, difficulty, elevation gain, time needed. That's fine. What I really want to see is where should I check the weather report for this? Like, I also want to see what do I need to bring with me on each trail. I also want to see not elevation gain, because elevation gain isn't concrete enough for me. I want to see there was one site that showed me photos of people, and they were like, if you're as in shape as Heather here, you can make this trail in 2 hours. If you're as in shape as Mike over here, you can make it in an hour and a half. And I thought that was so specific. I kept going back to that site because I was like, yeah, I'm more like Heather than like Mike. So how long is it going to really take me to do the trail? That kind of thing.
One thing to notice for the guys that did this, you can't see it below, but there are a ton of different options about how you can buy this from like 6 different platforms.
Yeah.
And so what is your goal? Like what is the best thing? I imagine the best thing for you financially is people buying it direct from you. So do you want to focus more on that, or do you want to leave it free? Because if you click on the Amazon button, the first thing you get to that page to buy it, and right away you see someone else's book right below it saying, people, you might also like this. So then you immediately have an opportunity to lose business to that other author. So, you know, you might want to think about focusing just on buying it straight from you.
I think this page does do a pretty outstanding job with design. Like good text placement, generally speaking, good use of logos and visuals. I mean, I want different and more visuals and bigger ones, as Pep said, but I think the layout suggests that there's some professional design.
It's a little bit SaaS company with those icons. I think they need to change that up a little bit.
Yeah, the specifics of which ones I'm with you on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's move on. Number 4. Tommy. All right. This one we'll go back to Rand with.
All right. So you know, I think as Ollie said when he first reviewed this is a nice, clear headline. Grow your real estate business with social media. I'm not in love with the stock photography thing, right? I would love to see right there a photo of someone who's actually taken our course, and then it says, you know, here's Rand Fishkin, and he's taken this course, and, you know, here's my little testimonial right next to it. I think that'd be a far better, more compelling photo for the header. And what is a little interesting is this idea that it's a club, and then, but as you can see when you scroll further down, right, there's like a one-time payment, so it's odd. it's an odd transactional model. And then I think there could use some additional detail in terms of some of the specifics. Like, I want you to tease me a little bit with, here's 3 tips out of the 30 that you're going to get in just the first week's video. And what are those 3 tips? And from those, I can get a sense for, like, wow, they really know what they're talking about. That is very impressive. You know, give me a sense of what you're gonna provide, rather than just tell me, I promise it's good. I won't tell you what any of it is, but I promise it's good.
Yeah, it's
also,
a pretty
I find
good...
it odd that it says every Monday you get 1 video, and it's 4 weeks, so it's like 4 videos. Is that it?
Yeah,
I won't argue that the product seems a little speculative. Speeches.
I think it's a little bit much to ask someone to pay $200 based on what they've read so far. I think you need to get, for this kind of thing, you might want to get people on a list and start selling them on the benefits of this thing before you ask them for some money. It's a little bit, I wouldn't pay $200 after.
Right. Where's the proof that this stuff works?
Yeah, need some kind of a preview, or more upfront than they're giving.
Okay, we ready to move on? Number 5? Okay.
That one.
Number 5, the puppies.
Yeah.
Okay, Pep, let's give this one to you.
Well, if that button that I talked about is not a button, then where is the damn button?
There is no button. You have to call.
Yeah, so you have to. What do I do on this page? What do you want me to do on this page?
You have to call.
I have to call. I mean, that's great for some people. I don't want to call. And of course, there's no call to action next to the phone number. So if you want people to call, then say, call to talk to a caring pet, I'm dog friend, whatever, dog specialist. Also, those 3 boxes below, is this... Okay, these are the 3 services, I guess. But again, there should be a link. There's no obvious link, no obvious button. So, yeah.
You know, I was impressed with the boldness of the photo in the bottom left, where it says dog walking and playtime. Because what I would expect there is that you'd show one person walking one dog without a bag of dog shit, right? But instead, they've gone with the transparent, honest approach of, hey, we walk a lot of dogs at the same time, and they poop a lot, so we've got a big bag of poop. So, I mean, I appreciate the honesty, but I'm not sure that that's exactly how you want to do marketing. Yeah, thank you for blowing that up and making it clear that that bag is weighed down.
I do really like the second photo, though. The second one, the cageless pet boarding, that's really important to a lot of people. Showing that is good.
Yeah.
I really don't know. There is a part somewhere that says they do other pets too, but you're talking about dogs here, so they don't show a cat.
Yeah.
Right? Does you get a free cat with every dog that you...
have a dedicated landing page for cats.
Exactly. For the CTA, I hope, I don't know, on a phone that this is click to call, that you can click on that non-button. Like, it really should be, and at the top as well.
Yeah, and it's weird to me that they don't have an email form. It just doesn't. It just doesn't make good sense.
Yeah.
And also, the question on my mind is, how much? I'm going away for 3 months, leaving my puppy with you. Is it going to cost an arm and a leg?
They do have prices. They do have prices at the bottom. You can barely see. It's like 15 to 17 per visit. But yes, I agree with you. Those were small. I would love to see something about that, and I'd love to see if they think that those rates are very competitive. Like, what are they selling? Are they selling price? Are they selling quality? Are they selling speed of service? I don't know which one they're focused on.
Right, exactly. There is no unique value proposition here. They do solve my problem. However, I mean, I can Google 10 other companies like that.
Right.
So true. Where's the value proposition?
You need to put a form in here, though, because people have a dog for 16, 17 years, and they probably have another dog after that. So get their email address so you can communicate with them forever, right?
Yes.
Because you're going to have a customer for life if you treat them the right way with this kind of service.
And I can't imagine, this is not a 1-800 number. They don't have operators standing by. If you don't call during business hours, right? You find out you're going on a trip tomorrow or the day after, it's midnight, you can't call them.
And can't anybody figure out where are they physically?
Yeah.
847. I don't know where that is.
I mean, we shouldn't have to figure it out. It should be obvious.
Yeah. Okay. Any final things to say on this page? Are we good? I think we're good.
I love the blue eyes on the puppy.
Yeah.
It fits in with the headline and the logo.
I want to see more pictures of the facilities, but I mean,
yeah.
Okay,
so those are our 5 finalists. So now voting opens now. So just below this video embed, you're going to see a button that says Cast My Vote. So go ahead there. You're going to see the top 5 that were just run through. You're going to pick your favorite of those top 5. And while you guys are voting, we're going to go through some of those questions that I was asking for before. And I've got a bunch lined up here. So go ahead and vote. By the way, if you're not on the proper landing page, you should be on pagefights.com/rand-fishkin, and that's where you can cast your vote on these 5 landing pages. Okay, so I've got a bunch of questions here. I'm going to try to decipher this a little bit. Okay, so first question's for Rand, and it comes from Dan. And the question is, Moz is known for SEO and inbound marketing, so how big of a role do landing pages play in your marketing strategy?
Yeah, they're pretty important. We actually have kind of a single product, right? It's just the Moz Pro software, or Moz Local if you're a local SEO person. And those landing pages are very important, but what's interesting about them is that generally speaking, on average, people have visited our website 7.5 times, I think it is, before they ever go and take a free trial. And the more they visit before they take a free trial, before they get to our landing pages, the better customers they are, the longer their customer lifetime value. So this is an interesting kind of dichotomy that I think a lot of businesses might need to think about, which is, do I want to try and convert someone early, knowing that the less connected to me they are, the less likely that it is that their customer lifetime value will be high? Or do I want to make that conversion process less obvious, less front and center, and let them find it on their own eventually after many visits? And I've talked to plenty of people in the conversion rate optimization world who have very different opinions on this based on whether you're an e-commerce business or a SaaS business. So I think opinions can vary, but I'd urge folks creating landing pages to think carefully about that, because that can dramatically change the economics of your business.
Okay, awesome. Oli or Pat, do you want to add anything?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, cool. So the next question is.
Can I ask real quick, Oli, for Unbounce, and maybe Georgiana too, for Unbounce, how important are landing pages for you guys? Do you see that same pattern that we see of, more visits leads to better lifetime value?
We use landing pages for the most part for our campaigns, which, yes, so some campaigns are designed for getting someone to sign up, but it's all the other campaigns we do, like our content marketing, all of our email marketing, all of that kind of stuff. So it's very campaign-based. And then we use content marketing and pushing people further down before they become a customer in that kind of way. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have any other thoughts on.
They're very tied to our every single campaign we do. I mean, in order to track sort of the success of our campaigns, we use our landing pages to sort of gauge that kind of thing. And then we a lot of it is lead gen, and then we follow up with email, which then feeds back into landing pages and over and over again. So we kind of do a little bit of marketing automation with our landing pages, which is, I know it's not perfect, but we do use them to move people down the funnel. And exactly like you say, it does require. I'm not sure exactly how many visits it is on average before somebody signs up, but I could probably find that out.
This is one of those things. I feel like I need to send out a questionnaire to like 20 SaaS companies, that do self-service SaaS like Moz and Unbounce do, and get averages. And so we can all compare. I think it would be amazing.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, cool. So next question is, hold on one sec, let me go back here. From Shauna, and this question's for Oli. Should a tagline at the top of the page stay within a certain number of words?
If you say tagline, do you mean like some? Well, the shorter the better. I mean, if you're talking about something attached to your logo, something like a little snappy thing that is your kind of brand statement, then yeah, the shorter the better. But if somebody can't read it very quickly and figure it out, then it's too long. If you're talking about, say, a subhead below your headline, it's not a tagline, but you may be talking about that. Usually the purpose of your subhead is to allow you to shorten your header, so your headline can be super succinct and clear, and then it's backed up by that subhead that adds extra clarity. But for your tagline, not everybody has a tagline, and not everybody puts them on their landing pages. But
I think maybe they are referring to subhead, if I had to guess.
Yeah, or headline.
Yes.
My general opinion is that the shorter you can make something and still have it be just as clear and emotionally resonant and compelling, the better. But there is, I wouldn't put an artificial limit, right? So if Sean is asking, does it need to be under 10 words? No, it doesn't need to be under 10 words. Does it need to be under 15? No, it doesn't need to be under 15, but shorter with the same level of emotional resonance and compelling information is always better.
Cool. Okay, Pep, this one's going to be from you. This one's from Simon. So, hold on one sec. Actually, it says for anyone on the panel, but I'll direct it at you, Pep. What do you think about the inclusion of chat boxes on landing pages? Like we saw one today that was kind of a fail, right? It was in Spanish on an English page, but
yeah.
Let's assume that the languages are the same. How do you feel about chat boxes being used on landing pages?
Well, if an live operator is actually online, they can really help. They can really work well. If nobody's online, don't show it. But there's also a question whether it's proactive chat, meaning that you initiate the chat box and you can't do anything but chatting. That can work and has worked well for some companies and has not worked well for others. So there's no way of telling whether it will work for you. So I would say that probably live chat will work well for you if your product is complicated and expensive. And vice versa. So, but test it out. It's typically a good thing.
We had an interesting test. So we tested this on our landing page for our free trial, and it worked barely. Like it wasn't particularly compelling. The stats weren't. We moved the free chat over to campaign setup. Like once you've taken a free trial and you start building your first campaign in Moz, we put the chat there. There it has worked much better. And so I thought that was a really interesting test, is putting it after the credit card capture when someone's doing campaign setup. Just something to consider for other companies, right? Think about where could I live chat with my customers that might help them onboard or be happy with my product that might work even better than on my sales page.
Right.
Yeah,
when
for the bed bugs people, because the bed bugs thing is so based on urgency and fear, I think that might be it. As long as it's only there when you are able to answer. But
yeah,
that's a really good opportunity, because I want to talk with someone right now on the phone or whatever. But if that chat option is available, I love live chat personally as a consumer. I don't always want to make a phone call. So
it's usually anonymous and no commitment and no high pressure sales.
Right.
Okay, guys, so just before we go on to the next question, we're getting some feedback that people want to see a quick review of what the 5 landing pages are. So let's just run through those quick, because we're like halfway through the voting period right now. So just a reminder. So Tommy, we're going to call those up. We've got, I'm just going to assume everybody can see this. Finalist number 1, the Your Child, Your Rights page. Finalist number 2 is the bed bugs that we were just talking about. Finalist number 3 is the Vancouver hiking. And finalist number 4, the real estate, social media. And number 5, the puppy with the blue eyes, which hopefully doesn't sway votes because the puppy's got blue eyes, because that's just unfair. All right. Okay, cool. So then we'll go back to questions. Hold on.
Ollie, are you making fun of my mustache?
I'm jealous.
Just, you got to go like this. There we go.
Backwards.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Next question, which is for any of you. What's the landing page optimization tip you have that that most commonly increases conversion rates?
My best one My best one is always the either do the survey or the in-person talks or a phone call with 10, 20 potential customers who look like demographically, psychographically, right, the business they're in, like your current customers, right? So if it's pet owners, I would go talk to 10 pet owners and say, what questions do you have about pet sitting? If you were going to use a pet sitter, what would you need to have answered before you would convert? And generally speaking, when you talk to 10 people, you're going to get the same 4 or 5 questions every time, and your landing page is not going to have those answers on there already, and you need to go add those and make those, make your landing page answer their questions. That has worked time and time again to improve conversion rates.
That is excellent, excellent advice, actually.
My advice would be to optimize for clarity. Clarity is always better than any psychographical, psychological persuasion tricks you might have. Just say what it is, what they get, why is that good, you know, well, how is it better than the other offers out there. Just, if it's clear, people will buy it. Just optimize for clarity.
Cool.
My most common like win, something that wins for me every time I run a test, is something I call conversation momentum. If you're linking from, don't think about an ad. Think about if you're linking from a press release, a course, an email, a guest blog post, any of those, you've already had a conversation started with someone. There's a lot of context there. You need to carry that conversation into the page. Reference where they came from in the headline. Hey, I saw you came from blah, blah, blah. How's that going? Then go into talking about what your offer is, and keep referring back to that existing context. Every time I test that against the just something generic, it always wins. That, for me, has been the most consistent approach.
Cool. All right, so voting is going to, oh yeah, okay, actually I've just got, no, voting is closed, right, no more. I'm going to ask, we're going to answer some more questions, but just so you know that voting is now cut off, so while we're compiling those votes and we start counting those up, I'm going to go to the next question. Wow, there are a lot in here to choose from, and sorry, I'm not going to be able to get to all of these. This is insane.
Lightning round.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Everything keeps jumping on me. All right. Question for Pep. You mentioned a lot about CTAs too early on the page, but most people put CTAs up to and further down. Does he recommend a CTA till what? Does he recommend no CTA until more info was given? Sorry, this thing keeps jumping on me because people keep writing.
Yeah, it really depends on what your offer is. If it's a free offer, you can make a case for it above the fold and have the button there and the form there and all that stuff. If it costs $200 and you have buy now button there after 2 sentences, nobody's gonna buy it. Now, it's fine if it's on your website, not on a landing page where people are repeat visitors. They've come before, they've read it all, and now they come back and they're ready to buy. That's where you want to have the button there. But if it's everybody's first-time visitor, they're clicking through adverts, whatever, then you know the odds are they've never been there, they don't know the offer. So yes, I would advise that don't make the offer until you've made the case, until it's clear what it is and why they should do it.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else have anything they want to add to that?
More questions.
Okay. Hold on. Hagedon Digital. Clarity on landing pages is so important. Where do you draw the line on leaving them wanting more so they will convert by clicking? Is that clear?
Yeah, well, this idea that I don't always love this, right? That you want to provide. I think what you're talking about is the idea that you almost want to tease them a little bit with enough information so that they are enticed to keep going through the process and make those small commitments. And I recognize this is a powerful psychological force, right? To make a small commitment of, yeah, I'm going to enter my email, and then another small commitment of, oh yeah, I'm going to reply to that, or I'm going to click through to that, and then I'm going to give you my credit card. But I have to say that I really like and appreciate in most industries, I think that the methodology of being more upfront, providing all of the information right away, and not dragging out the conversion process actually works better. And then you can do, as Pep said, rely on people to come back again and again, right? And they will come back once they figure out that they need your product, especially if you provide something that is truly uniquely valuable and you have a good reputation in the industry and you're doing marketing outside of just that one visit to the landing page.
All right, like imagine you're selling a phone. Well, it might have a 5-inch screen, but maybe not. Click here to find out. I mean, nobody does it, right? It doesn't work. It's only when you're selling shitty info products then people do that. So.
God, I hate information products. Can I just be honest? I hate information products. I feel like content marketing is the disintermediation of the information products industry. People with real products to sell are going to offer information products for free, as they should be, and then real products behind that once you've built trust with them. Okay, rant over. Sorry.
rant over. Okay. All right. We have our winner. Before I announce who the winner is, I want to remind everybody that this is based on votes. So you guys actually voted this page.
How many people voted?
That's a great question, actually. Maybe we can get that information. We received almost 100 votes. Okay, so the winner, and Tommy, I imagine you're going to call this one up, is the finalist number 2, which is the bedbugs page.
Nice, nice.
Oli, you really saved this page.
I think we talked about it the most. That's why it was.
I know.
Biased.
Yeah. So yeah, out of almost 100 people, that page did win most. So what is in this is the landing page champion of this episode of Page Fights. They win 6 months of Moz Analytics for free, and they also win, which is the analytics software for marketers, by the way, just in case anybody didn't know that. And then they also get, as a great pairing, 6 months of Unbounce Pro 99 for free as well, which is the landing page platform for marketers. So 2 awesome prizes. Put them together and you're laughing. And then don't forget to read the ConversionXL blog while you're doing both those things. Yeah, so that's basically.
Yeah, and if you guys want some link building tips, I know a sweet way to get some great links to that page or to your website. So free to ping.
Okay, so also I need to add also that for all Moz and Rand very generously has extended their 30-day free trial of Moz Analytics to 60 days. So for anybody who's registered for Page Fights or anybody of you guys that are watching, if you're not registered yet, definitely go down just below the screen. There's going to be an email field there to sign up for Page Fights. Anybody who's part of this Page Fights sort of community is now eligible for that extended free trial of Moz Analytics. So Rand, thank you very much for passing that on. And also don't forget that we are going to be coming back, and our new sort of format for Page Fights is that we're going to be doing this monthly. And so next month we've got Joanna Weeb from Copy Hackers who's going to bring some awesome copy sort of, side to this and critiques and to help the reviews along from a copy angle. So yeah, Joanna Weeb, Copy Hackers, August 8th, I received a ton of emails asking, like, when can I submit my landing page, and is my landing page just going to be on there? And don't fret, there will be more opportunities to submit your landing pages. And yeah, I think that's just about it. And so yeah, the Moz Analytics for free is going to come along with, the Moz Analytics 60-day trial is going to come with a recording email that's going to come in the next couple of days. I believe we're going to send that out to anybody who's registered. So go ahead, sign up down below. You're going to get the recording of this, and you're also going to get the extended free trial, and of course you're going to find out about upcoming Page Fights as well. Any final words, Oli, Pep, Rand, anything you want to add?
Yeah, just a quick note that people who didn't get on the show or that didn't have much, that didn't get through the top 5, I will be doing a big roundup blog post critiquing a lot of these pages, so awesome. you will get some attention.
Okay, and that's on the Unbounce blog, I assume?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Pep, any final words?
And don't believe anything we've said. Just your own shit.
All right, awesome. And Rand, thank you so much for joining us. It was awesome. We're running a little bit over time, but yeah, I just wanted to say...
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing all sorts of better landing pages as I crawl across the web.
Awesome. All right. We're done. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.